Okay, and I'm with Marcia and Mark Adams, and they are from the Blues Society.
The Villages Blues
The
Society.
Villages Blues Society, which we find out is the biggest blues society
In the world.
in the world.
Yep.
That is true.
What I mean, where else would that be other than the Villages? Let's be real.
Go figure.
That's phenomenal. So, I mean, that's a huge thing. I've been to your website and your stuff. Have not been to any of your monthly meetings, but man, you guys bring in the real deal.
We do, but we don't have meetings.
Don't it me? Well,
Nope.
you have your shows,
Our board meetings are the only meetings we have.
Yeah.
We have what we call gatherings.
gatherings, yeah,
And we do bring in some crazy,
Gr-
yeah.
great acts, and you got a house band as well.
Yep, the Blues Generators.
And
Yep.
I think we need to get you guys back here and
We'd love to.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
get you on the stage.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, how long have you guys been involved in the Blues Society?
In the Blues Society.
Here.
This is our 9th year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be 9 years old in January. Yeah.
Okay, so were you part of the inception of this?
Yes, we started it.
You started it,
Mhm.
and you're
Yeah.
still in charge. That's,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. That's a long time. That's a great thing though, because you watched this thing grow from 0 to 1,600,
It's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun.
and
Yeah.
it's still growing.
Oh, yeah.
So what inspired you to start this?
You go for it.
Well, I'm a musician. I play the drums. At about 24 years old, I quit playing music because I was frustrated that I couldn't make a living at it. And I met her. We started having children. The dream fizzled for a long time. And it was mostly because it's really difficult to support yourself as a professional musician. So for years, we kicked things around. You know, how could we get involved in the music business and help these poor musicians that can't make a living doing this? And it came to when we started a blues society in Indianapolis, Indiana. We used to live in Indiana for a short period of time. After we'd been doing it for a year, we had 86 members, I think it was, and we had decided to retire and move to Florida, so we handed that off to another, and it's still going today. I mean, it's called the Naptown Blues Society, and it's still going today. So we moved down here, and we didn't like the music scene that we found here.
Well, let's put it this way. We moved from Atlanta, Georgia, and the music scene there is huge,
Yeah.
and especially even blues. And the only band that we knew that was even playing on the squares or anything, it was a really good friend of ours, Bobby Blackman and the B3s. And he was really the only blues band that we could find here after moving from a big city. So that was a huge motivator.
So that was, as she said, it was a big motivator. And so we started in October of 2017.
Yep.
We did a call out for a blues club. You know, there are 4,000
Right.
clubs in the villages,
Yes.
and it was a blues club. And we weren't
Yeah.
affiliated with the Blues Foundation or any of that. Well, that started out as we were at Odell Rec Center, and we put about 40 chairs out. And we thought, if we get 30 or 40 people, it'll be a success. Over 200 people showed up.
2:00 on a Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
And so
It was crazy.
And you know what? We've been overwhelmed ever since.
It's been-
It just exploded from there.
So you guys have a club status.
Right.
Do you
Yes.
do you have a monthly
Mhm.
club?
Twice a month.
Twice a month.
Yes.
Okay. And where's that at?
It's at 3 different rec centers generally. They just have to check the website because we have to have a theater with a stage
Right.
because of the bands that we bring.
You're right.
And so generally we're at Eisenhower, Rohan, and La Hacienda, but they move us around some too. So everybody's just got to check the website.
And with 1,600 members, and of course other people besides the members wanting to come to those events, you must sell out, don't you?
You know, interestingly enough, we did pre-pandemic. And I've talked to a lot of other entertainment people in the villages. It just doesn't feel like the momentum has gone back to that, even at, you know, wherever there's live entertainment going on in the villages. It has happened. We just had our most recent one was a sellout.
I think it's coming back.
I do too. I
Yeah.
do too.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are getting fuller and fuller, and of course with the expansion of the villages, we just had Brian Russo on, Director of Entertainment, telling us about all the new stuff that's going on. Yeah, it's definitely coming back, and you go to the squares. I mean, they're getting busier.
I agree.
And a lot more. I have to agree that blues is not a lot of that, and it's got its own flavor and it's got its own thing, but you guys are kind of filling that, it
Well,
sounds
you
like.
know what's fascinating about that is we'll talk to people and they, I don't like the blues. But if we talk to them and get them to come to a show, they're like, oh, I didn't realize that was blues. I love that.
Exactly.
And it
Yeah.
happens all the time. We had a couple just the other night
Right.
that came to Brandon Santini a couple of weeks ago. And they weren't sure whether they really wanted to be involved in this. They were just checking it out. 2 songs in, she looked at her husband and said, we're joining this club. And they did.
And they were
And-
back the next time we had an event.
And that's what happens. Is it's a music that touches your soul, and you don't even realize it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't realize what it is.
It
And
grabs
you
a
don't
hol-
identify what it is.
It
you know?
grabs a hold
Right.
of you. It really does.
Well, it's
Yeah.
definitely a small genre in the world.
Yep.
But the other thing is, and a lot of people don't know this unless they really are into the blues, Florida is one of the hottest beds in the world for blues artists. So we're really fortunate with that too. We have so
Yep.
many friends that, have won Grammys and Blues Music Awards, and they're here in Florida.
Yeah.
They're just right here with us.
I
So-
see the people who are on your website that have came to your events to play, and it's great stuff. There's
From all over the world.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you probably don't have any trouble getting people to come play, and especially when you tell me you have 1,600 members.
Well, when this all started, I'm a retired school teacher. And when this all started, and Mark and I have been to festivals all over North America, and that's one of our hobbies, I got a hold of a friend of ours that used to put on Bonita Springs Festival. And I asked Kevin, I said, because I didn't know how to book bands. We had no reputation as our blues society yet and everything. And I said, is this kind of like buying a used car? You have to negotiate, especially until you get yourself established. Well, I do have to stay now because I do all the bookings. Mark and I, make the decisions on who all we're going to have, but I'm the actual one negotiating. And it's amazing now the number of booking agents that are getting a hold of us instead of us having to seek them out because we've built up such a great reputation.
We've become a notch on the belt of the
Yeah,
artists.
We really
'Cause
have.
they all talk at all the different festivals. They all know each other, and they're like, "Hey, where's a cool new place that you played recently?" "Oh, we played the Villages." and
Yeah.
they're great. I mean, we spoil them. We've got
We do.
a dozen volunteers that are our stage crew, and from the minute the band pulls up at the back door, we're out there unloading their vehicle for them, putting in our carts, dragging it to this. The artist doesn't have to touch a thing unless he wants to. I mean, and they don't get that. We treat them like a rock star, and that we tell them we're treating you like a rock star.
And the rec centers that you have them in, they're great facilities.
Oh, they're beautiful. Yes.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal. If you haven't been to a Villages Rec Center, you have to. They are top shelf.
It's amazing.
Yeah, got the great stage. They got the lights.
Mhm.
They got
They all
Everything.
have a piano on the stage, and this
Yeah.
is not just it's a huge
It's a baby grand,
concert,
yeah.
baby grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had a few of our artists use that.
So how would you describe the average member for your blues society?
We were talking about that. I think that
Oh, come on, tell him what we said.
we're all a bunch of older hippies in retirement. And we're just having fun.
Which I think is probably 2/3 of the Villages.
Exactly.
But, yeah,
Exactly.
all the different stages and that stuff, and
Absolutely.
enjoying different genres of music.
Yeah.
So, what other things do you do besides have your monthly events as a blues society? Do you have any society or any outings outside of the Villages, or is it all in the Villages?
No, we actually we have taken over 70 people in a bus. The villagers love to go on their buses to Bradenton Blues Fest a few times. Right now, the Spring in the Blues in Jacksonville was another one, about 70, 80 people. This year, we are going to Vero Beach Fest. We went last year and took about 80 people. And we took over this mom and pop motel and sit out at the little tiki hut and just all hang out, before the fest or after. And what else have we done? I'm trying to think. Well, we go to the Blues Music Awards.
Yeah.
This year we're going to have 2 tables, which means 16 representatives will be there from the Villages Blues Society.
Where's
at
that?
least. That's in
event?
Memphis.
In Memphis,
Uh-huh.
that's what I was.
It's in May in Memphis. We have done the International Blues Challenge also, which means bands from Florida have to have a challenge at each of the blues societies that want to do this, and it's in January. And then one band gets selected. and they represent your blues society. And these happen all over the world. So then everyone comes together in January, and that's another big thing that we've done.
So you have a house band. Is that the only band blues band that's in your blues society, or is there other musicians that have other blues bands mixed in there?
Well, this is for Mark, because Mark actually runs our house band.
Okay.
And I kind of adopted it into that when he started to build his band. It's a blues band. Why don't we have them be our house band? So that's
Yeah.
how that kind of evolved. But
We play a couple, 2 or 3, sometimes as many as 4 member appreciation shows a year where it's free to come if you're a member. Just come and enjoy yourself. Thank you for being a member of the Blues Society, and the band plays for that. So, but no, there aren't any other bands that are
Okay.
house bands.
And
so
do you
to speak.
have to be a member to come to any of your events?
you have to be a villager,
Have
or
to be
you
a
have
villager.
to have the guest pass, the typical guest pass that villagers have to get. But you do not have to be a member.
So it's a great place to come and try it out. And so
Mhm.
what's the benefits of being a member versus just somebody who shows up at your events?
Well, sometimes we put out ticket sales first for
Okay.
them, and they get discounts, $5 to $10, $15, it depends. So if you come to a lot of our events, it's going to pay for itself, with the tickets. What else?
Well, but at the same time, being a member of the Blues Society is supporting all of these bands that we bring through, and we donate a considerable amount of money to the Blues Foundation, to the Heart Fund. The Heart Fund is the Handy Artist Relief Trust, and one of our artists that will be here pretty soon had a heart attack, and he couldn't pay his rent. He put his house note. He went to the Blues Society, and they paid his house payment for a period of time. I never got to the bottom of how long, but how many other organizations do that?
Yeah.
So
Well, you said Blues Society. He went to the Blues Foundation.
the Blues Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys donate to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
What's it cost to be a member?
It's $20 for an individual, $30 for a household. That would be up to 4 people.
And that's on an annual.
Right.
annual, yes.
Right. And it renews on the date that you signed up. We've got this fantastic software that takes care of all of that. We couldn't run this
No
thing
way.
with
No
this
way
many
could I do
members.
all that I do
And
without the
she
software.
already spends about 30 hours a week on the Blues Society business, and it would be impossible without that software.
Isn't that amazing how fun things and hobbies turned into just longer fun things and hobbies? I can't
Yeah.
call it work because
Yeah,
it's really
and
not
it-
work.
and
but
it's not.
yeah.
And neither one of us feel. She feels like it is sometimes from time to
Yeah,
time.
well, the
but-
clerical stuff.
But it's
It-
it's a labor of love, and it's
Yeah.
a passion of ours, and we thoroughly enjoy it. And you know what? We get a payoff so many times
We
that
do.
other people don't get, and that is we get to know these artists. We take them to dinner a lot of times. They'll stay at our house sometimes, and you really get to know these artists. We've had some of our artists find my old clunky guitar back in one of the rooms, and they'll bring it out, and we'll sit around a little fireplace on the back porch and play till 3 o'clock in the morning. It's silly stuff like that. That's just, it's a payoff that you can't get any other way, So
Well, it's like I said, it's a lot of work, but it definitely worth it. And so, how long do you two plan on running this?
till we
Lo-
can't.
Till
That's right.
you can't. Okay.
It's just like it's just like driving my Corvette. Until I can't get up and out of it, I'm going to drive the Corvette. We're going to do this until we can't.
Okay.
Yeah, when it stops being fun,
Yeah.
we won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And right now, that's not in the future. I don't see that right now. We can't see that far down the road.
No.
So you have 1,600 members, and you would take as many as you could get, I assume.
Well,
We've talked about, we actually, pre-pandemic, that was a board conversation almost annually, because we are the
almost
blues.
monthly as
And
we grew
well,
so
the way
fast.
we were growing so
Right.
fast, yeah, it was almost like, well, are we going to cap this at 500? Are we going to cap this at 1,000? Because blues, anyone that really understands blues, it can become, I don't want to say like a religion, but it can become very close to you. And we don't want to lose that in a club of over 4,000 clubs. We want to have that continuity and people feel the love. But we've never capped it because we just do a lot of other
we had a
things.
conversation with one of the real high up people in the recreation department, who will remain nameless. I don't want to tell any things out of school, but they told us, let it seek its own level.
Yeah.
Just keep going and going and going, because we kept wondering when the phone's going to ring and say, hey, I don't want to be a part of this anymore because I can't buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Well, it's never happened, not one time.
I think also the mentality in the villages, they understand that. With us having so many clubs,
Yeah.
you know, like I know like the couple of the singles clubs, like fill up in 5 minutes, you know, the second it hits the internet. So I think that's a little bit of a difference that
Yeah.
the villagers are trained that if you want to go to something, you better get a ticket.
Yeah,
Get it now.
and not everybody can go to every event,
Right.
and nor does everybody want to go to every
Right.
event. But you
Right.
want to have that option. That's cool that you can let people in though, just for being a villager with a village ID or a guest pass.
Right.
You're going to see me and my wife at one of your shows.
Awesome.
Like I said, when I went to your website, I'm like, you guys are bringing in some great people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, you know, you mentioned that everyone can't do everything, but we have created a couple of things. We have honorary members that when we started out as a club in October, and then January when we decided to become affiliated with the Blues Foundation, we did a call out, and it was like, if you believe in us, this is what we're going to do. So what was it, Mark? 85 people
85.
showed up, and they became our honorary members.
In
which
January, we started with 85 members.
Yeah,
if you
before.
remember in Indianapolis, we had 86 after a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So it was a totally different
Right,
situation.
right. So anyway, what I was going to say was we have some people that were even the honorary members that come to almost everything we have. And what they say is it's not like this is what they say, you know, we don't really know because we're not out there. They feel like it's not just a club. This is a social event, like getting together with your neighbors every Friday night. We're doing a potluck, or after church we're going to go, you know, get coffee together. They just put that into their calendar that this is if they're playing and we're in town, we're going to go. It doesn't matter what band we have.
Any highlights or most memorable moments that you can think of in the 9 years?
Yeah, we talked about that too. We've got a couple. You want to talk about Anna first?
We have an artist she's coming back again in January. Her name is Anna Popovic. She's actually from Yugoslavia originally, but she lives in California now. Her agent contacted Marcia right as the pandemic was trying to close out. It was probably early 2021. And this is somebody that plays nothing but festivals, big money. We can't afford her.
International,
Right.
sold
Yeah.
out, like stadiums. So this was crazy.
So we have a lot of conversations internally. Well, what do we do? We're like, well, we can only afford this much money, apologetically, but we can't afford to give you the kind of money. She says, I don't care. I just want to play. I've been locked up for so long. I just want to play. So we didn't have a place to put her because we couldn't go in the rec centers yet. We brought this international recording artist to the villages and played on the breezeway at Havana Country Club.
She
I
didn't
mean,
care. She didn't care. She just wanted the band wanted to play.
And you know what? She's coming back for the third time. We saw her, where were we? At the
Big Blues Bender, I think,
Bender?
maybe. Yeah.
and we saw her in the hallway, and she stopped us and she said, when am I coming back? I want to come back. And we're like, well, if you want to come back, we'll have you, but there's not any more money in the coffers than there was before. And she's fine with that because she just loves the way we treat her. I mean,
playing the villages is a big deal for a lot of musicians. We find that because we interview a lot of musicians, and they're like, oh yeah, playing the villages, that's like on their bucket list. And then a lot of them get here and stay here and play, but a lot of people want to get in here to play because it's a great, I mean, where else do you have 170,000 people that are in a certain demographic that love music? I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the villages that doesn't like music, but it's just a huge opportunity.
And that demographic is exactly why we're so successful.
It is,
I mean, we are the demographic for the Blues Foundation. And it's, wow, we're in an amazing place for that.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about as far as highlights was when the rec centers all closed down for pandemic and everything, and we're like, and that's why I mentioned the blues is so big in Florida. We were trying to figure out what can we do to help these artists because, they had no means of working.
Right.
And so we called our good friend JP Soares in Southern Florida. He runs a band, JP Soares and the Red Hots, and he's won a lot of awards too. And we talked to him about it, and we just said, we're thinking of maybe doing like running the Blues Musicians Relief Fund, or, we were just trying to come up with some way that we could help. And that started out, and we had one of our sound guys.
Well, the interesting thing, not to interrupt your JP story, but JP, when we talked to him, the world had only been shut down for about 3 days. And he said, guys, it's too fresh. I can't even talk about it right now. Give me a little time and I'll call you back. 10 days or so later, he called back.
Yeah.
So he was crushed when all of it fell apart. It was just a horrible event for all these musicians.
So what we did was our sound guy lived on a corner, and he had like 12, 15 oak trees we could sit underneath in, the heat of the day or whatever. He got approval from the villages. He got approval from Sumter County, and that we could have 100 people, social distancing, that whole pandemic thing.
Yep.
And these artists played on his driveway, and it became affectionately known as Shady Oaks Corner because of all the oak trees. And people would try to find it. I mean, they'd be like, no, it's not. It's his house, that you're going to. But people still reference that so much. And I think it's because we were in such a dire straits of times. Everyone was just needing something. And what did we do that, a year and a half?
Yeah.
It was a long time, because when they wanted to open the rec centers up at 50% capacity, our people weren't comfortable with that.
Yeah.
We tried it. And so then they said, no, let's keep going to Shady Oaks Corner. So we were able to help a lot of artists in Florida
and
with that.
The Blues Society didn't make a penny during
No.
that whole period of time. We gave literally 100% of the money. If you paid $10 to come and see JP Soares, he got that $10.
Yeah.
We put a tip jar out, and we explained to everybody, because we don't do tip
No,
jars.
we don't do tip
That's
jars.
not something we do. We don't want to be one of those clubs that hits you up for money the second you hit the door, and we don't do that.
After you paid to get in.
Exactly.
Yep.
But we put the tip jar out. These artists sometimes would get tears in their eyes when they would see how much is in the tip jar. So they'd make $1,000 from our buying tickets, and then another $700 in a
Easily.
tip jar.
Yeah. Some
It
of them,
was crazy.
some of them were up to $1,000, like $100 bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, music is one of the things that webbed us all back together after all that stuff, and
sure.
and that's why we got to keep it going, and all the stuff as active as it can be, because music is just great. It's just for everybody. Everybody likes some type of music. They don't like it all, but So, what are some upcoming projects or events that you have going on for 2026?
Well, I mentioned Vero Beach Fest, which is end of February, 1st of March.
What are the shows that you're doing at your rec center? Any particular artists that stand right out?
Well, Anna, for one,
Yeah,
she'll
Anna,
be
yeah.
here.
Right. We've got the Blues Beatles from Brazil. They're
Coming
coming
back.
back for the third time.
We've got DK Harrell, who
Yeah.
we will not be able to afford him in another year.
He's
If
a
you're
baby. He's a baby BB King.
He's
He
a
really,
baby
truly
BB
is.
King, and
He is.
if you want to watch this up and coming guy, I'm telling you, he's really gonna go. He's an amazing entertainer. He's gonna open our year up in January, second Tuesday, 14th, I think.
What's the capacity that you can have at those events?
Well, that's another thing that you could do theater style, which means just rows and rows of seats.
Yeah.
We don't, and we could get 500 people in there. Some clubs do. That's kind of going back to us keeping our clubs intimate and more, so people don't feel like just a number when they show up. So we do the tables of 8, the typical tables. Everybody brings snacks. They bring whatever refreshments they want. And then we did start another cool thing just now. We had tried it just with our board members, and we couldn't, like Mark and I were running it. It's like impossible, for us to go and greet people. We try to meet the new people. We jokingly call them virgins. And they all get a laugh out of that. There are virgins to us. So, we joke about that and go talk to them. But we started a thing called the Vibe Tribe. And what we did was we took a lot of the honorary members, because they've been with us since conception. And then we added some others that are pretty diehard people that they understand our club. They can answer questions, all of that. And they actually walk around. They're like Walmart greeters, but there could be 5 to 8 of them. I think we've got about 12 or 14,
Right,
but not everyone's here at the same
Yeah.
time. But they will literally greet at the door, and then for the newbies, the virgins, they put on beads so that we know who to go identify and introduce ourselves. They've been inviting them to sit at specific tables, and we did kind of steal that off of the Parrot Heads, because I know they're a really really big club too, but. we went to one of their events and they had a table specifically for new people. And so we kind of took that idea and built it with our Vibe Tribe, and it's been extremely successful. People really feel welcome. Well, yeah, people.
Nobody walks in and doesn't get greeted.
Yeah.
We were in Atlanta for 15 years. We joined that Blues Society. We went to 3 meetings before anybody ever said hello. Well, how awkward is that?
That wasn't going to
Yeah.
happen with ours.
That doesn't happen here. If you join and you're identified with beads,
Someone's going to talk to you.
Somebody finds you and makes sure you're comfortable and you have a seat, introduce you to other people, that type of thing, so you don't feel like you're abandoned. So a lot of our people say this is their favorite club that they're a member of, because we do things a lot differently than a lot of organizations do.
And you run it through the summer too?
Yes and no. We used to, like 24/7, but we've just found out, again, like you said, with getting everything back up and running. So we'll do the member appreciation in the summer. So all of our year-round diehards, which are really the ones that hugely support us, you know, they can come to it. But no, we've kind of cut down in the summer.
Yeah.
Well, the
just-
population
Yeah, all of the
thins up
above.
a little bit,
Sure.
Yeah.
and the heat and that stuff, and so
And it gives us a break.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anybody that's big enough and you thought about trying to put in one of the other venues, the larger venues here in the villages,
Well,
to,
there-
to accommodate?
That would be Anna to start with. Tab Benoit.
Yeah.
Tab's one that we've been following Tab forever and a day. And he is one that we had thought about, you know, maybe at Savannah, you know, getting in. But we really haven't pursued that as much as another thing that we've got coming up for our 10-year anniversary.
We meet with Brian Russo
Mm-hmm.
fairly regularly.
He's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's become a good friend, and we already met with him. Was that January of this year? To talk about our 10-year anniversary in January of 2028. So you're talking about, do we have aspirations of doing anything bigger? We're going to do a festival in conjunction with the entertainment division in 2028, and bigger names than we can afford will be on the bill of that. So
Well, and that's if it's 2028, you need to start planning that now,
Yeah.
because we had
We
Brian
already
here the other
have.
day, and their clocks are.
That's why we
already
got
have.
together with
we
them.
actually
Yeah.
have the date on the
Oh, yeah,
calendar.
January
already.
29th.
We put that date on the calendar in January.
Because you got to grab the villager
But
stuff.
this
you
is
know.
like the first time we've really talked about it.
Yeah.
Our board members know that we've had this conversation, but it's not really been public knowledge until.
Right, till now.
So now you're trying to book the artist and get things all ironed out, or have you got that done?
Oh, no.
No, okay.
We're
Not quite
no,
yet.
We're not
Yeah.
quite. We're not quite with. From when we met with Brian in January, they said, "Yeah, get it on the books," like you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then it's about time now to start getting a hold of them, and you know, like you said, the real meat of the festival.
And we're also always looking for emerging artists, and so you want to put at least one of those emerging guys or two on that festival
Right.
that kind of pop up and like, where did you come from? Thank goodness you did, you know.
So, in a perfect world, tell me, how will that festival be? If it goes exactly as planned, what is that?
Well, we are just doing one day. We were at New York State Fest, and some friends of ours helped run that, and she's a grant writer and everything. And she walked me in. It's not a big festival, but she walked me around as in the eyes of if I'm running a festival. And there are so many things, and we've never run a festival. I mean, you know, the biggest thing we ever did was Shady Oaks Corner, as far as anything like that. And so I said, "Nah, I don't want to let's not do too much. You don't want to do too much first. You know, you want it to be
Successful.
very successful."
Yeah.
And so we just want it to run perfectly in perfect weather. It's going to be outside, and
Like how many hours? How many artists do you want to have in a perfect world?
we would probably run it like, we haven't really discussed that completely, but like a 10 to 9 kind of thing. And yeah, we haven't gotten that far.
Yeah,
We've definitely talked about artists that we are interested in,
Yeah.
but of course we can't
Yeah,
tell you that. But
like an all-day event though,
Yes,
starting at
all
like
day.
10 o'clock in the morning and ending at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah.
well, that makes it worth it. You know, we have been to some festivals that are like 3 hours. Why? If you're going to do all that work, do it for the day.
Right, and if you got other people coming in from outside the villages that may have to drive a bit, yeah, they're
Right.
going to want to take and have it last longer.
Right.
Right.
Where are you thinking, having it outdoors somewhere?
Yes.
I don't know if we can talk
We
about
probably
this.
can't
Okay.
tell you.
We've,
All
we've,
right.
we've picked the venue, and it's already reserved for us.
Okay,
But we
good.
I don't know
I
that we're at
think
liberty.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's our place to say. It's the entertainment division that
Yeah.
but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
More info coming.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
So, in what ways has the Blues Society made a positive impact on their members? I think we kind of talked about this a little bit. Is like it grabs you. I mean, you only have to listen to blues for a while, and it's just like it's tugging at you.
I got to tell you a quick story about one of our members. This was fairly early on, but he had just gone through a nasty divorce, and he called and talked to Marcia, and he said, "You guys have saved my life." Literally, he used those words.
Well, he wasn't suicidal. He
No,
just meant
no,
the
no.
blues. The
He
blues
was
is
just-
uplifting,
He
and
was
yeah.
just miserable, and he
Yeah.
joined, and he met so many people, and he's had so much fun at it that he just loves it, and those were his words. So, sometimes it changes people's lives, and you don't even know it.
And then I have another one, and we did start this page on our website that's for quotes from either artists or our members. Carrie and Tom Solomon, I'm going to say hi. They have been members since like 2 months after, I don't remember exactly, March or February of 2020 when we started it. And they used to, she's got a quote in there, and she said, we used to just come to some, but now we come to every one of them because we trust you. We know that it's going to be great, even if it's a subgenre of the blues that's maybe not quite our thing, but they come every time. So that's another one. Like I said, it's on their calendar. If they're in town, they're there. So we get a lot of those really cool responses like that that make us feel good too. We've
Yeah, well,
accomplished-
you're right. You put a lot into this. It is nice to get some good feedback. And 1,600 members. That says a lot about it right there.
Yeah.
So Mark, tell me about your band. What's the size of the band, and what?
There are 5 members. We've got a sax player, keyboard, bass, guitar, and drums. 3 of us sing. Actually 4. That's not fair to say. Four of us sing. We are blues based, but you got to play stuff that people will dance to. So we kind of stretch the genre a little bit. But we did 4 festivals in the last couple of months, and when we get to do a festival, it's not so much as much of a dance type of thing. So we got to play a lot of stuff that a lot of people thought it was original music because they weren't familiar with it. I mean, we plucked a song from Alba Seal out of New Orleans called Daddy Got a Problem. Well, nobody in the crowd had ever heard that song before, and they went crazy. They thought it was an original, but it wasn't. So we're always looking for unique stuff to play that doesn't, not this your regular old slow dirge blues,
Yeah, you got to get people moving around.
Yeah. So it was really gratifying to get those 4 festivals that we played, and they're a lot of fun. None of us are spring chickens anymore, so to play the festival and walk in with my drumsticks and play, that's a treat. We don't have to haul a PA system around. You don't have to haul the drums, So that's a special thing.
So do you play at some of the events in the rec centers too, or your band?
Occasionally,
yeah.
That's the member appreciation thing.
Member
Okay.
appreciation, yeah. And we have discussions of, like, we're looking for an opening act for one of our shows that we're going to do, I think, in February, and it's getting kind of late to find an opening act. It's upon us. So the possibility exists that the Generators will play an hour-long acoustic set maybe to open, just to fill up the time, because we've spoiled our members, and rightfully so. We're glad we do. We do a 2.5-hour show. So when you get an artist that only wants to do 90 minutes,
Right.
and I get that,
Yep.
they've reached a level where that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've spoiled our members with a 2.5-hour show, and that's what they want, and that's what they expect, and that's what we want to give them. I mean, that's what we want too. So,
You guys, you do the warm up usually.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're also looking for maybe a youngster that really is ready to step up to another level. We've got 2 of those now that we've been mentoring since they were about 14, and
Right.
now they're 22 and 23 years
They're
old.
adults now,
And
yes.
they've both taken off, and they're doing fantastic things in the music world. So it's fun to think that we mentored those 2 young guys, gave them a couple of scholarships to get them up, and so we're looking for that next guy. Or
That would
girl
be, to
that's
me,
up.
that would be
Yeah.
the ultimate. If we could
Mhm.
find a Florida-based band that also kind of you start talking about the International Blues Challenge, you know, and I was mentioning that. But if we could find, because we will go out and seek Florida-based bands, just because, like he said, we want to find up and comings, but also for possibly our local blues challenge. And so, to me, in the perfect world, and I said I'd do the booking for the age of the band that we're getting, that we need to do another time slot. That's what I would like to find is, you know, get one of those up and coming bands and give them, they can put it on their resume that they opened on stage with this person
Yeah.
that we can't mention.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it would be great on their resume too.
Yeah. Well, even just to be able to play for your society, I mean, in the villages.
Apparently.
Again, that
Right.
it does. Yeah.
It's getting that way, yes. It's
Yeah.
notches and belts for
Yeah.
sure.
So, it's one of the questions I was going to ask you, it just slipped my mind because
Well, there's a piece of
yeah.
paper here.
No, no, no. So the up and coming. Oh, yeah. Are they local? So did you up and coming people that you found, the youngsters, are they local or are
One's
they
from
out?
Claremont. the
Yeah.
Okay,
others-
that's
the other-
local then.
The others in Sarasota. So,
Yeah, okay.
Just Florida guys.
Well,
yeah.
what we did was I tried to start, as I mentioned, I'm a retired teacher. There's a program called Blues in the Schools, and we tried to get it started. Again, I keep referencing pre-pandemic, but that's when we were just getting started. And we found these kids and we were going to do scholarships, and that's what we were able to do for a few years. But Blues in the Schools, it kind of fell apart. It's still something I would like to try to do, but there's only so much time in the day. And like you
Yeah.
said, this is not supposed to be work. It's supposed to be a passion,
Right.
Yeah.
volunteering.
Well, you must be going out and you're traveling around watching other bands too.
Yeah.
That takes time and travel and
Yeah.
yeah.
But we
so-
love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Retirement is so different for everybody.
Right.
I'm the same way. I couldn't, you wouldn't find me on the golf course 4 days a week. That's just not in my makeup. It's got
Yeah.
to be doing something. And it sounds like you two are wired the same way.
Oh yeah, we're
So-
busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait to get your band in here. We'll have to talk about scheduling
Yeah,
that.
let's do that.
And
Sure.
you got 1,600 members. You're going to find this on YouTube. It's available. The people watch it live, but it's also going to be available, I don't know, usually within a couple hours, but certainly by the next morning.
Okay,
Pass that along to your members.
we will.
Absolutely.
And,
we will,
uh,
absolutely.
You bet.
Helping us out by subscribing makes a
Sure.
big difference.
You
Yes.
bet. You bet.
And if there's anything else we can do for you, like I said, I'm very anxious to get you guys on, and you will see my wife and myself absolutely at one of your events very
Perfect.
soon.
Yeah, thanks for the
So-
interview. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night, folks. That's a wrap.